Welcome to Confessions of a Modern Artist. I'm your host, Luke Wynn, and my first confession, last year, I was selfish. Yeah, this is my confessional. 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 First and foremost, we are here. It is the year of 2024. We made it, y'all. Kobe year. This is the Kobe year. 24. I know for a lot of people, the start of a new year is resolutions, it's goal setting, it's weight loss. It's a lot of hopes and dreams. But if you're like me and you've been a creative and you've been an artist for much longer than 24 years in your life, or even, just the last few years, you already know. Every single moment, every month, every week is like that. Every single week we're chasing after something. Every moment we're thinking about something. We're thinking about how we can accomplish those goals that we've set for ourselves. And last year for me, I gotta admit, I was really selfish. I was selfish to think that my creative vision, my artistry, my gifts and my talents were for me. I felt like I had a measuring stick that I would use in order to figure out the milestones that I wanted in my life, in my career. By this year, by age 25, I want to be a rapper. By age 30, I want this to happen. Every year of my life, I realized I had these milestones that I wanted. And a lot of times milestones weren't being reached. Was the effort there? I do believe so. I do believe that I had crazy work ethic. I do believe that I had really good talent. But last year, things kind of shifted for me because I realized there was something about me that I felt wasn't good enough. I felt like there was something in me that no matter how hard I tried, I just couldn't break the glass ceiling. And in my ignorance and thinking this way, I just felt completely bad. Last year, I spent more work behind the camera ever in my life. Last year was literally people didn't even know I could write, I could rap, I could sing. People didn't know the decade that I put in the music industry just trying to make things happen. I fell back. And obviously, not even obviously, you may not know this, but in 2022 is when I started my production company, when I started screenwriting a lot, I started doing more podcasting and stuff like that. But last year, I was content with just filming other people and helping their dreams come true because I felt like whatever my dreams were, they were misplaced or misguided. And essentially, I felt like maybe they weren't real dreams at all. It wasn't until the end of last year when I kind of had this moment of reflection. And I felt like God kind of spoke to me. And the truth of the flaw of, how do I put this? The flaw in what my goal setting and the milestones that I wanted to reach, the flaw was deeply rooted inside of me. There was still that young 8-year-old boy who was getting kicked off the drums, humiliated in front of everybody. That little boy who wanted to prove himself, who wanted the validation, who wanted to just be accepted and be the best. I carried him with me into my music. So then for 10 years, even though I have a good message, I have a purpose, I'm trying to spread the gospel, I'm trying to empower and uplift and inspire others. The milestone that I'm trying to hit is to ultimately validate that young 8-year-old boy who was living inside me. And because after 12 years of making music and performing and doing all these different things, because after the 12 years of not seeing what I wanted to see, it caused me to lose value and lose worth in who I am. And what God revealed to me was, that's not why he gave me my gifts and talents. He didn't give me my talents so that I could be this star in the world in order to be validated by people. No. He gave me my talents and my abilities so that I can be impactful for people. in a world that's so convoluted by, just so much negativity, so much hurt, so much pain, so much facade, so many vices that we are forced to cling to in order to fill this hole, this void that we have in our heart. God gave me a voice to be a light amongst darkness. And by selfishly retreating, selfishly chasing a check, selfishly not understanding the pivot that God was kind of allowing me to do, I was silent. I dropped an album last year, Broken, but even still, after a month, it was silent. My encouragement right now for all those creatives who have been underdogs, who have been mistreated, who have never been good enough, don't allow your purpose to be wrapped up in what you always wanted to be as a child. Don't allow your purpose and your vision to be skewered by the need for validation, by the need for love, by the need for a pat on the back, by the need for praise, because it's subtle. It's really subtle. And if that's what you're looking for to feel justified in your career path and your passion and what your calling is, you're never going to reach it. You have to know the deeper purpose of why you want to do this. If your purpose is to impact your community, always keep that in mind. So even if only 10 people in your community are being impacted, that's a win. That's what you want. If you're hiding the truth, which is that need for validation, that need to prove someone wrong, you're never going to prove anybody wrong. You're never going to do it. You're never going to reach it. And if that is the goal and you do reach it, then what continues? What keeps you going? What keeps you going past that? I want to leave that with you guys. That's my confession for today. Today I ask you, I don't know if you heard my baby crying. Today I ask you, what's your confession? What's your confession from last year? When you reflect and you reevaluate who you were in your career, trying to walk out the purpose and the life that you have, what's your confession for last year? And are we going to continue that same flaw? Are we going to allow that same negative seed to fuel us this year? Or this year, are we going to walk in purpose, impacting those around us? Think about it. I'll see you guys next week. Yeah, this is my confessional. This is my confessional. This is my confessional. This is my confessional. This is my confessional.